you ready?
We are ready to go.
All right. John, why don't you hold up your,
Oh,
and hold it up there and leave it up there for about 5 seconds, so we can put that. There we go, super. Now, why don't you state your name? I know it's repetitive, but they're gonna, it's gonna be transcribed.
oh, okay.
So, also off there, so they won't, so what,
Okay, John, Jon, John, Arthur Morrison, Hyannis, Massachusetts.
and your, how long were you in the Marine Corps? What outfit were you in?
I
Years
joined-
of service?
September 1961. Got out in October 1969. Was in tanks pretty much the whole time, first and third. No, I'm sorry. Second and third. I was at Pendleton, but I was an instructor at tank school.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And then where were you stationed at after Pendleton, after tank school, overseas?
In Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I was on Okinawa for a couple of years.
Okay,
From 62 to 64.
okay,
Went back to, or went to Camp Lejeune.
mm-hmm,
From there, I was transferred to Delmar, tank,
All right,
tank
sure.
school.
mm-hmm,
Then from there, I volunteered and went to Vietnam.
okay, so you're
That was in,
Camp Pendleton?
yes. That was in June of 1966.
June 66, okay. Yeah, I was putting it in relation to when
Yeah.
I was there, but, so I get a good picture about some subsequent questions. And your MOS was?
1811.
1811. Now, what position were you there when you got to Vietnam? And
I was all of them: loader, driver, gunner, tank commander,
okay,
and then I think it seemed like it was called section chief or something. But I had 3
Sure.
tanks.
I got you.
At one time.
Yeah, heavy
Yeah.
heavy section. So what rank were you when you got there, and what rank were you when you
I
left?
think I was a corporal when I got there. Made sergeant, got busted to corporal, and made sergeant about 2 months after I got back to the United States.
Okay.
So,
And you got busted. You want to tell us about that?
well, a couple of times by truck, I had gone through way
Okay.
going from company to battalion headquarters.
That must have been from Phu, by the way?
From Phu Bai to like Quang Tri.
Yeah, okay.
And I was seeing the Army and the Air Force in civilian clothes having liberty. So that kind of pissed me off. So I told the truck driver to stop, and me and this other guy jumped out and tried to get laid, basically.
Okay.
The MPs showed up, and we started running. They pulled their pistol out and cocked it and said, "Halt." So we... And I came up with some really lame story as to why we had gotten off the truck. So I got busted from
I got you.
sergeant to corporal.
But obviously you picked that rank back up?
Well, yes, when you're lower than a sergeant, you get conduct and proficiency marks.
Right,
The highest you can get is 5.
right.
Well, when I got busted, I got 4.949. So obviously I was okay,
Sure,
And so yeah, I got it back within 6 months of going back to the States.
I got you. Oh, okay. Well, that was pretty good. So you were
Yeah.
but you were in like 8 years, 9 years?
Yes, 8.
8?
hmm
Long time.
And if they hadn't have busted me right after I got busted, or maybe even before, I had extended for 6 months to get 30 days leave. They had a program that
Okay.
I don't know how long they
Sure.
kept it up. So I was getting ready to, and I went back home on my 30 days leave.
Mm-hmm.
They sent me a telegram saying, "Don't come back, go to Camp Lejeune." So then a couple years later, when they wanted me back, I said, "No, hell no." if they didn't want me before, then they don't really want me now. So I decided to get out. I was going to make a career out of it,
Wow.
but I realized how screwed up the whole concept of the Vietnam War and the way it was run, I didn't think was very
It was
smart.
coming together, yeah. Now,
Yeah,
when
you know.
when did you get out again?
October 69 from Camp Pendleton.
October 69, so, okay. So you, and when did you leave? Yeah.
When did I leave Vietnam? July 67.
I see,
So a little over 2 years later.
I see, okay. And then, tell us again where you were at after you run from Phu Bai to Quang Tri.
Yeah, no, then I came back to the United States
Oh, I
for 30 days leave.
I see. So that's, but you were overseas for a year.
Yes, I was in
Okay.
Vietnam for a little over a year.
Okay, and where else were you besides?
You mean?
Phu Bai,
Oh.
yeah,
Spent a little bit at Dong Ha,
okay,
Cam Lo, J.J. Carroll. Well, Cam Lo was a wide spot in the road then. J.J. Carroll,
mm-hmm,
someplace west of there along the Highway 9. I don't know.
Kalu,
I don't know. I don't.
okay,
You know, this was 1966. It didn't have an address or a name even.
right,
Then we went to Con Thien, Jolin.
did you see any action at Cantian?
Yes. I mean, we physically didn't get attacked. You
Okay,
know, we get ambushed on the way to Con Thien, but once we got to Con Thien, we really didn't come under physical attack.
I
We had
see.
some incoming mortar rounds occasionally, but
I
no
see.
one charged the wire while we were there.
I got you. Oh, okay. Because that was a hot spot, I know.
It wasn't so much when I was there. I mean, I was talking to Don Sanders, the guy who was in before me.
Mm-hmm.
The whole Con Thien was full of trees.
Okay.
I mean, and on the way up
Well,
was...
you were a little early. They were
Yes.
probably running ambushes, probes,
Yes.
that type thing, because Cantien really didn't, they didn't get overrun until September 67.
Yeah, see, and I left probably just before Christmas and went to the rock pile. So
Okay.
I was I was there fairly early in the process.
Rock Pile, Witch's Tit, Kalu.
Yeah, at rock pile and Razorback Ridge.
Right.
I don't know the name. Kalu doesn't ring any
I
bells
see.
to me either.
I
but
see, okay.
I mean, you could see the rock pile from a long ways off.
Yeah, no, it was high. What was your most interesting incident over there?
Well, other than getting caught in a whorehouse, probably on the way to Con Thien when we got ambushed.
Okay,
We had, and we had 5 tanks. The first day we had just gotten over the Cam Lo River, and one of the tanks threw a track. So it's been most of the day to fixing that.
right,
So then we went back to Dong Ha for the night, went up the next morning. That probably gave Charlie the time to set up the ambush.
sure.
And I think the place now is called the Washout, but that's where they
Okay.
ambushed us. I was the second tank. The first tank, the lieutenant, he got killed right away.
Who was the lieutenant?
It was a German sounding name like Barnhart or
Okay,
Barn something or other.
Okay.
Fairly new, second lieutenant. Had only
All
been
right.
there a few weeks, I think.
okay,
I can't remember his name. So he got killed. I got a hole in the side of my tank by RPG just above the road wheels. So it went
okay,
into the fuel tank and through and hit the brake line. So the engine stopped. All the diesel fuel leaked out onto the ground. Meanwhile, we were shooting it was NVA. I shot a HE round, not that
as
far away,
what position?
as a tank commander.
Okay, as a
Yeah,
tank,
I was
okay.
tank commander.
All right.
I had gone out to look at the damage when my gunner called me back in because NVA was coming down our way through the bushes. So we shot a HE round to him, or at him, caught fire, and the wind was blowing the fire back to us in the tank. And we couldn't move. We couldn't move. So we had to hook up the tow cables, and by that time everything was cleared up. They towed us to Thien. And so we just sat in position for, I don't know how long we were there, a month or so. It was a big hole. People would come by and look, and hey, there's a guy with a hole in the tank. But that was probably that, and when the Hueys came over, the gunships started blasting everything. Pretty loud and scary, because I didn't know they were coming.
Right.
But that's probably the most direct contact
Yeah.
We could see them,
I
the
see.
NVA, but they weren't up close. The guys who shot the RPG in the side of my tank were killed by the grunts on the tank behind mine.
Okay.
So their bodies were there. But that's probably about
I
the
get
worst
you.
thing I ever saw.
I got you. Of course, the war was escalating from
Yes, and
from then on.
I was there early.
You didn't miss anything later on.
No.
It's just more of the same.
No,
More,
and if my extension had gone through, I probably would have been in the way. And who knows what would have happened then. That wasn't good.
That was a shithole there.
Yes, and I more than likely would have been there, having come back.
Who are you with again?
A Company, 3rd Tanks.
Oh, yeah.
We were our company was out of Quang Tri,
Right.
and the battalion was Fubai.
Right.
So we were north and south.
Well, you would have been on Lamson
Yeah, I don't keep
250. You
yeah.
would have been on,
Would have been right in the middle of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bad summer.
Yes, it was.
Summer 60,
yeah.
summer 60, yeah.
68.
68.
Yeah.
Bad times, Tet,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole smash. Do you go to the Veterans Hospital for anything?
I do now,
Yeah,
yes. And
yeah.
I live in Sheridan, Wyoming now.
Okay.
There's old, I don't know how old, like 1880 or something, an old fort from the old days.
Okay.
They converted into a VA.
Okay.
Very nice
All right,
facility.
cool. All right.
And it's maybe a mile and a half from my
Yeah.
house.
Do you go for PTSD?
No.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I've been able to deal with that.
I see. Okay.
And
Do you have a percentage disability?
I'm 80% disabled. I
Okay.
was rated at 10% or less for
Right.
arthritis and
Sure.
this and that. And then they discovered I had diabetes.
Okay.
So that
That changed the whole.
that changed the whole thing, yeah.
To what? To what percent?
80.
Oh, okay.
I mean that and upgrading in the other
Right.
percentages.
Yeah, I've gone through
Yeah,
similar.
I'm sure most of us have.
170 paid 90.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. Is there any other humorous incidences that you can remember?
Again, no, just getting caught trying to get laid.
Yeah.
Later, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Did you get any?
No,
Oh, okay. And you
I
got
would-
busted.
we had a pistol, so I dropped my pistols, dropped my pants. No one had underwear in those days because
Yeah,
they just
no
rotted
skidding,
right
yeah.
off. Yeah.
No
So I was
screw.
laying there, and there was a window with like an India print thing across it, and I could see the MPs
Right.
walking back there with the helmet on. So I yelled to my buddy, and I said, "Let's get out of here." We went the other way, and we didn't get very far.
Okay. What do you think about the war now? What do you have any feelings about it? Or?
I don't think we should have gone. I
Okay.
think I don't think America should be 9/11 for the world. We need to kind of come back there and take care of our own country,
I got you.
with all the people in this country having a hard time.
I got you.
We don't need to spend billions of dollars overseas
Right.
taking care of other people.
Yeah. I think you alluded to that a little while ago. That's.
Yeah.
Would you go back to Vietnam? Have you gone back? Or
No,
would
I
you
haven't
go?
gone back, and I know there's an offer sheet in there that you can sign up and
Yeah.
do that. I haven't really decided. I mean,
Okay.
I guess I would like to, but it's like going home after 20 years. I
Right.
don't know what I would,
Accomplish?
or not accomplish. I mean, I would probably accomplish peace of mind,
Yeah,
but
put everything in its place.
yes, but it wouldn't look the same. In my mind, I've got a picture,
Right.
let's say of Thien, trees.
Yeah, they probably have a Holiday Inn Express there.
Yeah, that area they call the washout now, Don Sanders has pictures. It's totally mud. When I was there was trees this big around.
Right.
And so I don't know if I could reconcile the pictures in my head from what it actually is now.
I see.
So I don't know.
I see.
I'll have to give it some thought.
Yeah, how do you like the reunion?
Oh, good, good. I wish there was more people here that I served with.
Right.
But no, everyone's nice and friendly and
Well,
got
that- yeah.
stories to tell.
Yeah, have you looked at all the pictures and all the?
Yeah, most of them. I even
Yeah.
put some of my own over there for.
Good.
There's a couple of pictures of just as I was leaving, getting ready to come home.
Mm-hmm.
I had to give my tank up to a guy, and they went out and hit some sort of IED, like 1,000 pound or something. Flipped it
Wow.
up and tore it apart, upside down. Killed all 4 guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say 1,000 pound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was out like in the sand dunes around Quang Tree.
Okay.
So, I've
So
just
the guy that your tank
my tank.
that you gave up to somebody,
Yes,
he had 1,000 pound
yeah, about 2 days after I gave it to him.
IED. They probably brought that down from 1,000 pound from North Vietnam and
More than likely, yes.
yeah,
Yep.
threw the turret off.
Threw the turret off, threw the tank upside down, knocked the tracks off. So let's say there's a picture of it up on one of the tables. I've got a sheet of paper with about 6 different pictures on
Okay.
it, and 4 of them are
So that could
Out
have
of the
been.
tank.
So that could have been you.
could have been me. Yes,
You relinquished that to go home on leave.
yes. So I've got a little bit of survival guilt from that, and
I can imagine.
a couple of guys, for one reason or another, took my place. They were killed.
Okay.
I can't remember now exactly what I was doing, but maybe going on R&R or something. So
Okay.
somebody had to take my place on the tank.
Okay.
And they were killed. So
Do you remember some of the names of the guys that you were with?
no,
Anybody?
I mean just the guys on that list.
Why don't you?
Well, one guy I've kept in touch with, Willie Caldwell, out in California. Hi, Willie. Richard Funk, who's a member. I thought he might be here, but he
Okay.
wasn't. And Steve Dahl, he's from somewhere in southern Georgia, I think.
Okay.
And some other guys, James Westbrook, Pete Goebel, just a bunch of different guys that weren't on my tank.
That's
They-
okay.
They were in
That's
my
okay.
platoon.
We
and
want to
stuff.
put them. We want to put them.
No, that's fine. I mean, there's some pictures of Tom Tinsdale. He was in my platoon.
No, this is
Different
valuable.
guys.
But it's valuable information because when you mention their names
Yes.
and somebody else mentions their names, it's
Mhm.
corroborated,
Mhm.
and we have somebody else's name.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can carry this forward that, oh, that's who that was. That's who that was in that picture. That's who,
Yes.
because they're, of course, the association gets a lot of communication from people looking for people
Mhm.
and wanting to know any bit of information. So you're married
Yes.
and children.
No.
I see.
No.
Okay. So, but your wife, does she know about everything that you went through?
Pretty much. I mean, I don't know if I've shared everything with her, but
Okay. When
she's younger than me by 13 years.
I
So
see.
there's a
How many years have you been married?
well, we got married in 86.
Okay, so it would have been well after.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got divorced in 88, got remarried in 89 or 90,
Okay.
and we've been together since then.
I see, okay.
She doesn't know a lot about it just because I just haven't told her.
I get it.
And a lot of the names are just going around in my head. I've got a list at home. I wrote them, all the names down. I forgot to bring it with me.
Oh, okay. Can you do me a favor and send those to John Ware?
Sure, I can do that.
That would, because you've got, even if you left off one name here, that we can put with a, you know.
Oh,
with
yeah,
a-
I've
with
got probably 20, 25 names
Yeah.
on a sheet of paper at home.
Right.
That when I think of somebody, I go and write it down.
I did the same thing. And I was a caisson during the siege, and so I put the 21 tankers' names down, where they're from, and, you know, and so forth. And then, you know, it took a while. It didn't come overnight like.
Yeah, no,
like
I've
you're
been
saying.
adding to this list over the years.
Yeah,
You know, when
yeah.
something comes up, I'll think about it and I'll write that name down.
Well, good, because it's just not, it's for you to put everything in proper perspective, but it's also for the association.
Yes.
So, and
Yes.
that we know who to invite. So some of these guys at the next one will show up because they'll be invited,
Yes.
that type thing.
There's a
Same.
couple of guys that were on the website that I thought might be here. Richard Funk and I think it was Tom Tinsdale. We used to call him Grizz
Okay,
because he's just a big
yeah.
big
Yeah,
guy.
the grizzly bear. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, in Bravo Company, we did the same thing. Lieutenant Peter Rich was the first one, like 5 years ago. Nobody else. No one else. Now there's like 9 of us.
Oh, that all are associated
Yeah.
with them? Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And-
kind of what I was hoping I'd find
Right.
here.
Right.
I've only run across one guy new, and that was at Lejeune. So
I see. Okay. Well, maybe somebody will look up you, you look up somebody,
Yes.
and then you'll say, okay, if you go, I go. You know, if I go,
Yeah.
you go, and that type thing.
Uh-huh.
And you know, you never know, it'll be in Vegas, close to you, or you know.
yeah, Vegas would be nice. I'm going. My 70th birthday is Wednesday,
I got you.
so Friday we're going to Vegas for
I
a
got
long weekend. I like Vegas.
Well, that's nice that you came here
Yes.
and you
Well,
share your thoughts.
yeah, and it was kind of hurried. I was scheduled to fly out of Sheridan Thursday morning.
Okay.
They called me Wednesday at noon
Mm-hmm.
and said that flight's been canceled. You have to leave today at 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to run around and pack everything up. That's why I didn't bring my list. I didn't bring some other things I was
Right.
going to bring.
Well, you see what everything's at, which is really a lot of camaraderie, and it's
Yes,
you know,
yes.
it's
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
it's been
pretty tight.
been fun being here.
And yeah, my wife and I went to a couple of them now, and
Uh-huh.
really, you know, about seeing the guys, and there's more joining, you know,
Yes.
coming
Yes.
all the time. And if you be in touch with several of the guys, and you know, because we're not getting any younger,
That's the truth.
and instead of losing the names, like yourself,
Right.
we'll be putting the names, you know, back
Mhm.
into the association,
Mm-hmm.
and then everybody will know what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Vietnam tankers, especially Marine Corps tankers, have been non-existent from the history books.
Pretty much, yeah.
They didn't even know we had 5 tanks at Quezon until we said so.
Yeah, and I had a grunt lieutenant think we could only shoot about, what did he say, 10,000 yards or something? You know, they just didn't know how to use us.
Right.
And that was part of the problem why I didn't want to go back, because they didn't know what they were doing with tanks.
Yeah.
Some of the generals and...
Yeah, I got you. I
Stuff.
got you. Oh, okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's probably it.
I got you. Okay.
Maybe next time. I'll think
Sure.
of
If
something else.
you think of something,
Yeah.
write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Clayton. Good. All right. We're good.
All right.
John, appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm glad the story's getting out.
Oh yeah, well, when everybody's stories get narrated
Yes.
and get down and get in,
Mhm.
and we'll have real good access to all this stuff too. It's not going to be just buried,
Yes.
which is super.
Is there gonna be an announcement if it comes out on disc or TV? or-
It'll be on, the Sponson box will carry
Yeah,
the program, yeah,